Да, планшет в бардачке. Да, да. Этот перегороженный полностью, его смыло.
Его надо оттянуть и пойдет, вода уйдет тогда, да?
А каким его? Ну это только за тебя, если цеплять его.
Ой, поднять, да.
А у тебя манипулятор, да? Ну, как вариант можно попробовать. Там отбойник полностью лежит.
Поперек.
Да. Он хочет манипулятором подцепить его.
Давай его зацепим, мы дернем сюда.
Он сейчас
И вода
манипулятор.
будет быстрее входить.
Ну да.
Она как дамба получается. Он сам сюда?
А в Ростовской области горит лес у города Каменск-Шахтинский. Зарево пожара видно сейчас за несколько километров. Местами огонь подобрался вплотную к автомобильным дорогам. Жителям удалось заснять на видео настоящую стену пламени. В тушении огня задействованы более 2 десятков пожарных машин. В борьбе с огнем сотрудникам МЧС помогают и волонтеры.
Тут 4 городских, 2 наших. Пожарки, 6 подвозов води.
Як піднімається пламя, який сквозняк тягне, ось зараз воно притупку.
Nepal, submerged by relentless rain. For the last 3 days, downpours during the monsoon season have ravaged the country. Hundreds have been reported dead, whilst authorities said that close to 2 million people had been displaced.
We've been suffering the extreme flood for 4 days. It's impossible to stay at our home. That's why we're staying here on the roadside. We don't even have food to feed our children. All the houses are submerged due to the flood.
Rural areas are those which have been the most affected. Farmers have reported severe damage to their crops. The government estimate that 20% of the nation is underwater. Neighbouring Bangladesh has also been hit hard, with a third of the country flooded. The heavy rainfall has left thousands of people stranded. Many are unsure what to do, often just waiting for help, which can take hours to come.
Water has flooded our houses, so we have taken shelter in this school. We cannot move and cannot collect food. There's a major crisis with getting safe drinking water.
Roads are flooded, my house is also flooded. I'm waiting here for a boat to take me to another place.
India has also suffered from the torrential rains as the monsoon swept its eastern and northern territories. The state of Assam has been devastated. Almost 100 deaths were reported in the area. Train services have been cut. 20,000 people living in emergency shelters. The annual monsoon season, which runs from June to September, is a lifeline for farmers in rural areas of the region, but it comes at a heavy price, often bringing devastation wherever it goes.
Hundreds of acres of land underwater, thousands of houses damaged by the floods. Floods caused by incessant rains that started on Friday have destroyed much of these fertile plains of Nepal. This village of Daria, outside the industrial town of Viratnagar, is finally rising above water after the rain stopped on Monday. 4 people died here. Across the country, landslides and floods have killed more than 100 people and displacing thousands. Authorities say as many as 6 million people have been affected. Shobhalal Mandal says he's never seen such a flood in the 40 years of his life.
Most of us in this village are farmers. We have no other means of income. All our crop has been damaged.
All the food grain stored in the village has been damaged as well.
Farmers here are saying that at least 80% of their crop has been damaged, and they fear that this is going to be a year of loans and debt.
Locals have been cooking in communal kitchens and living off food donated by charities. They say they can no longer afford to buy any food. In the market, food prices have gone up. This shopkeeper told us vegetables that were 40 US cents a kilogram now cost $1. Roads have been damaged, water systems disconnected. Local government officials who had been conducting rescue and relief operations are concerned that the central government might not be up to speed. Nepal is still slowly recovering from the 2015 earthquake in a different region that killed around 9,000 people and made around 2 million homeless. Most of them have not yet been permanently rehoused, despite widespread criticism of the relief and reconstruction efforts.
We've been doing our bit, rescue and relief work in our district, but the responsible departments of the centre have to assess the damage and destruction. Roads, animal husbandry, agriculture, water and irrigation departments have to start working soon. The longer it takes to rebuild, the more impact it will have on our economy.
Everyone is in agreement. Unless there is a coordinated effort to rebuild soon, the impact of these floods will affect Nepal for a long time to come. Sabina Shrestha, Al Jazeera, Morung district in southeast Nepal.
Welcome back. The death toll has mounted to 72 in the state of Bihar this even as around 73 lakh people have been hit by floods this year. Flood fury in Bihar triggered by incessant rain has lashed 14 districts in total, with the special secretary in the state disaster management department saying that more than 2 lakh people have been evacuated so far and have been taken to safer regions. Now out of them 1.16 lakh have already been put up in 504 relief camps in different areas. In Motihari district, the police station has been underwater for the last 3 days. In fact, sources say community kitchens have also started for victims, especially those who have been left stranded. The rail movement has completely been disrupted in the state of Bihar. In fact, there is no let-up in the flood situation in the state of Assam as well, with the death toll rising due to the natural calamity. In Assam, 11 more have been reported dead in the third wave of floods, taking the death toll now to 39. According to the Assam Disaster Management Authority, the number of lives claimed so far this year stands at 123, with the Chief Minister also in the capital to meet the Prime Minister and apprise him of the damage that has been caused as a result of floods. According to reports, around 33 lakh people in 24 districts of Assam now have been affected, with over 4,600 people having been evacuated to safer places by the NDRF. Transport service has also been affected, with the Eastern Railway cancelling 14 mail and express trains on Wednesday as rail tracks continue to remain submerged.
Welcome back. The death toll in the Bihar floods has now risen to 202. 18 districts have now been completely inundated by water. Over 1.2 crore people have been affected in Bihar. 5 lakh people have been moved to relief camps across the state. The situation has also taken a turn for the worse in Uttar Pradesh. 46 people have lost their lives as entire villages were submerged underwater. Dams in the state are overflowing, with at least 13 small dams being destroyed by these floods. In Assam, the death toll has risen to an overwhelming 144. Over 80% of the Kaziranga National Park in Assam has been inundated by water. In nearby West Bengal, the death toll has risen to 60. While NDRF teams continue to attempt rescue and relief, many parts of the northeast have been cut off from access because of these floods.
क्या चीज है निकाली तो
अगर अभी यहाँ जितना देर रुके ना और फंसिएगा, रायपुर में पानी आ जाएगा।
The people of Tora are digging. Large parts of their village are now under a thick layer of mud and rock, destroyed. The search is for belongings and for the remains of loved ones caught in the landslide. 40 people have been buried so far, The final death toll is expected to be far higher.
What we see here is desolation. Big stones are on top of the houses. The first report talked about only 50 houses being destroyed, but now we have around 70 houses of different families destroyed.
The village lies in the western Rift Valley. Earth tremors are common here. Homes have been built on steep hillsides. Deforestation only makes the ground more unstable.
I'm so affected by what happened here. It's the first time I've seen something like this. What I know is that we had rain and this landslide situation, in which all of our people are covered and dead. We have lost all the houses.
The regional government is basing its estimate of how many died here on the number of homes submerged. They and these villagers know the chances of finding all the victims of Wednesday's landslide are slim. The fear now is that disease will claim more lives. Richard Martin, Al Jazeera.
It's back to work as the excavators move into what is now an open field. This is more or less a recovery operation than a rescue. The chances of finding anyone here alive looks very slim. Authorities here say about 600 persons are still unaccounted for, missing. And this is where they are all suspected to be, beneath the grounds here, buried. And the fear is that majority of them may never be found again. Among those who are still buried in the mud is one Pastor Daniel. He was conducting a vigil church service when the heavy flood and boulders from the mountain washed the church and his entire family away. His colleague and other church members have come here hoping to find their bodies.
I feel so bad, even now, because it's terrible. It's one whole generation, entire family, so I so feel bad.
Emma Kamara has not been able to find the bodies of her younger brother, his wife, and 2 kids who lived at the foot of the mountain. Struggling to hold back tears, she shows us his voter ID. She says she has been to the mortuary several times, but did not find their bodies among those displayed for identification.
I don't feel fine, sir.
I don't feel fine, sir. Me and my other brother have been searching for him. I called his line several times. It's not connecting. Those who know him say he is dead. We can't find his body. We don't know what the government will do.
This is the very moment a soldier who had been taking part in the recovery operation just discovered some of his closest relatives died in the tragedy and their bodies have not been found. But he's not the only military personnel affected. That's the remains of an army captain, which was pulled from the grounds at the scene. The bodies bagged and driven to the mortuary. Virtually everyone in this hilly city has been affected in some way by this tragedy. They're all grieving together. And they must all come to the reality that some of the bodies trapped beneath the mud here will never be recovered. Deji Badmos, CGTN, Regent, Sierra Leone.
Một lên ngay nồi,อย่ามาทางนี้น้ำมันอันนี้นะขโมยโอ้โหน้ำแรงมากเลยครับประชาชนน้ำขึ้นเยอะเลยครับนอนมาเร็วมาทางนี้ มันกล้าลำบากครับทหารมาช่วยดีน้ำขึ้นเยอะแล้วครับ
More homes are being evacuated along the Lolo Peak fire line. The Missoula County Sheriff's Office says fire conditions present an immediate threat to people and homes along a stretch of Highway 12. Deputies scrambled late into the night, going home to home, searching for anyone who may have slept through the evacuation. Those evacuating say they've been prepared to leave at a moment's notice. For now, they're putting their trust into firefighters in hopes they'll do what they can to protect their homes. MTN's Eric Clements was in Lolo shortly after the evacuation notice was issued. Take a look at what he saw.
In the waning hours of August 16th, the Lolo Peak fire crested the ridge, prompting new evacuation orders along Highway 12 and the west side of Highway 93, just south of Lolo. As many as 400 homes are impacted, and as you can see, the flames are really flaring up.
Thick smoke glows a deep crimson west of Lolo, illuminated by the fire raging on the mountain. A stark contrast to the otherwise clear black skies. Silhouettes of trees not yet consumed are visible as smoke chokes the valley below. Points of red and blue light dot the hill as law enforcement rush from home to home, searching for anyone who may be sleeping through the evacuation. Highway 93 is teeming with vehicles, many of which haul campers and trailers as drivers seek refuge. At the evacuation check-in center on the corner of Highway 93 and Highway 12 in Lolo, neighbors greet neighbors, ensuring the safety of their friends and families. Helping hands are offered, and no one panics. Those evacuating say they've been prepared to leave at a moment's notice, and that they trust firefighters will do what they can to protect their homes. They say that's all they can do for now. In Lolo, Eric Clements, MTN News.
There's been a robust response from emergency crews with this Lolo Peak fire as they race to make sure people stay safe.
You were out there tonight, you could see those engines just being staged everywhere, all of these points of problems. The real problem has been smoke, especially on that Highway 12 corridor. That's one of the reasons they closed it down. And as MTN's Eric Clements reports, things could get worse before they get better.
The fire is active on all fronts right now.
Firefighters and law enforcement officers say they were expecting high winds to kick up massive plumes of smoke along the Lolo Peak fire.
The smoke cascading off the Lolo Peak fire has effectively blotted out the sun, creating a scene that some describe as apocalyptic. In addition to that low visibility, ash has been raining down, with some pieces about 1.5 to 2 inches long.
Now to that severe weather across the country, wildfires forcing evacuations in Washington, and multiple twisters tearing through the Midwest. Ginger is tracking it all. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning to you, Michael. We've got striking images coming from southern Minnesota. This was just last night. You can see the power flashes there. Thankfully, no one was injured. One farm was damaged. But this morning, a much more dire situation happening. Fire officials in central Washington state saying all of these folks, nearly 80 homes, need to get out right now. This morning, a fast-moving wildfire near Quincy, Washington, forcing level 3 evacuations for more than 80 homes.
Stay clear of the area.
The wording from officials, get out now. It's called the Monument Hill Fire, and earlier it knocked out power for hundreds in Grant County. At least 500 acres burning, sending heavy smoke and flames into the night sky. In Minnesota, 8 reported tornadoes.
Tornado down, tornado down.
This one in Lafayette, just southwest of Minneapolis, sending debris flying and power lines flashing. From Indiana to Texas, tennis ball-sized hail and winds to nearly 80 miles per hour.
Man, this is getting worse.
The winds shredding power lines, blowing this store roof straight across an intersection.
Nós viemos para aqui para tentar ajudar os bombeiros no que seja preciso. Alguma projeção, alguma pequena projeção que nós possamos ajudar. Nós estamos aqui a fazer o melhor que podemos porque toda a ajuda é pouca numa situação destas.
O
governo português vai declarar o estado de calamidade pública face à previsão do agravamento do risco de incêndio nos próximos dias nas regiões centro e norte do país, mas também em alguns concelhos do distrito de Beja e Sotavento Algarvio. A decisão tem efeitos preventivos e inclui um regime especial de contratação pública, entre outras medidas, enquanto legitima o livre acesso da proteção civil à propriedade privada. As temperaturas em Portugal continental continuam elevadas. Para o próximo domingo prevê-se máximas a oscilarem entre os 33 e os 40 graus Celsius. A Autostrada do Norte está cortada nos dois sentidos, em Albergaria, distrito de Aveiro, devido a um incêndio, mas é o fogo no concelho de Mação, distrito de Santarém, que continua a ser o mais preocupante. 1 milhar de soldados da paz combate as chamas. Em Ferreira do Zezer, no mesmo distrito, a situação não é tão complicada, ainda assim há uma centena de efetivos no terreno. Distrito de Castelo Branco combatem os fogos mais de 700 bombeiros apoiados por mais de 200 viaturas, a maior parte deles concentrados no combate às chamas em Vila de Rei e Louriçal do Campo. Em Vila Real a situação mais complexa continua a ser em Ribeira de Pena, cerca de 200 bombeiros estão no terreno.